My dog shred his bed and then ate through his own leash. It feels like a sign.
I've already cried 1,000 tears, and it's only Tuesday.
I am real done with donuts.
Stepped off the curb and split my jean skirt up the front.
Such a good day. Well, hello, patrons and general community. Welcome to Have Such a Good Day. This is our new podcast.
Well, I don't know if it's that new anymore.
Well, it's really not.
It's not old, though.
Because we're on episode 12.
So it's like a tween, maybe.
We're a dozen. We're
pre-tween.
celebrating our dozen life span.
We are. Preteen, that is.
It's like eggs. Mm-hmm. Once you get to a dozen, you're perhaps...
You're a full house.
Yeah, you're going to feed a family.
I like where you're going with this, Sarah. It means that
Heather, it's been quite a day.
Oh, I know. I've been part of this quite a day of yours. Who solved a miraculous problem that you just had? That was like serious resourcefulness, wasn't it?
That would be you, and we'll get to that in a second. But before we do, let's remind anybody who stumbled upon us that have
welcome.
Such a good day. Yes, welcome. I'm Sarah.
I'm Heather.
And we are committed to you having a better day by us all kind of drudging through the minutia of the shit,
the day-to-day
that is life,
and try to find the humor in it.
Pardon my French, but again, it's been
and I mean, trying to find the humor in that drudgery because
exactly.
We all have to
because it is funny.
It is funny. No, the thing is, if you don't have the humor and if you don't see the absurdity and irony in life, you will shrivel up and die.
It's true.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and not to diminish real. Actual feeling depression.
Yeah.
But Heather and I often are like, you having a good day? No, me either. Or you having a bad day? Well, you know what? I'm having a better day. So
totally.
we're constantly trying to do that whole seesaa
and
thing.
I feel like we're usually on an opposite side, but occasionally it'll be like we're both having a bad day, but we work it out. We have a therapy that is Slack.
It's true.
And we just kind of go back and forth. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It could be late in the evening, early in the morning, but we hash it out. And you know what? I think, help contribute to better days for each other.
That's true.
Which is kind of cool because that's like a whole double meaning with the whole show. But we know what it's like to get to a point where you're having a good day. So we want to help you guys too. Because we know how wonderful it is to have such a good day. And
the whole idea behind Have Such a Good Day was, of course, Heather and I, very good friends. We've, worked together for many years. And we know that this is, life is hard and funny and
sometimes beautiful and wonderful
and sometimes there are tears.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes
1,000
before Tuesday. Got it. But
it's like a song.
But we know that there are more of you that feel the same way as us.
Oh yeah, totally. So
in a weird way, it's like it's
relatable.
We're hoping that this opens up things for
absolutely.
more folks than the two of us.
So you guys cry 1,000 tears if you need to because it does feel better.
True story.
Actually, speaking of some of this kind of dark stuff, but like we did our bonus poll this week, and I asked Sarah. I'm just gonna full disclosure. I asked Sarah because I usually kind of cull together some ideas, and I asked Sarah, well, you got any ideas this week? And she said, I don't know, how would you like to die? And it was, I think, caught her in a crazy day, crazy morning. And then I thought, that actually could be kind of funny. Let's see if people will respond to this. Because, it's like, sure, you can say your answer, but there's a lot to talk about. So we're going to save this for the end of the show. So this is our bonus topic that's going to happen when we say goodbye to you regular ballas. Paying under $5.
And anybody who's like, what are you talking about? Patreon.com/have such a good day gives you a better sense of the different tiers that we offer folks who contribute to the show, because we are completely member supported.
We are. And we have our own personal little, they call it lens, so you can peek behind the scenes at what we're doing at all hours of the day. I mean, we're not posting at all hours of the day.
Heather might be naked.
It's possible.
You never know.
I mean,
you might as well at least try.
You might as well just take a peek.
Check in. You know,
It's an app.
so
You have to
often.
download the app, Patreon app, in the iTunes store. So do that.
Yeah.
Check us out.
But Patreon is it is our platform of choice. We're really happy with the community. We're so grateful for everybody who's contributed so far, and there's so much more that we can do. So if you are discovering our show for the first time and you're like, well, you know, how could I help? You don't have ads. What's going on here? Patreon.com/havesuchagoodday is the best way for you to realize that you can pay $1 a month.
$1 a month.
$1 a month.
What's that? That's nothing.
That's a quarter per show, because
Yeah.
we do a show per week. So, you know,
4 times 25 cents.
Basic math says
equals $1.
Yeah, your coffee is way more than the show.
Yeah,
But
guaranteed.
here we are, and we're really happy to have you. So
We are.
Thank you in advance.
Thank you so much in advance. So, Sarah, how's your week been?
Real shitty. I mean, I don't.
Where do we begin?
I don't want to sugarcoat it, and I won't. Heather and I kind of, you know, we both sort of like think of like, well, you know, like what's, you know, sort of your witty anecdote of what's been going on last week. Mine is, it's been shit. It's been a shitstorm, Heather, and I. My dog chewed through his own leash.
I witnessed that. That was crazy.
Not-
He must have been
not
working.
not 1 hour ago.
But he must have worked on it a little bit beforehand. Like it might have had like a weakness, like he'd been chewing on it a little bit. That's what I'm thinking.
That leash was given to me by an obedience trainer that I
You should-
paid for a cool leash.
I think you're gonna need to have a conversation with this obedience person.
I guess so. So yeah, not to, you know, belabor the dog point, but my dog, Otis, who many of you know, anyone who's watched the video stream has seen him. He's a wonderful, sweet, large, giant puppy.
Slightly undisciplined puppy.
He's very undisciplined. He chews through leashes.
He means well, but he doesn't really understand what's going on.
Yeah, well, you know what? I need him to
Yeah,
understand
I
what's
think you
going
need
on
to look for
sooner than later. And this is like a weird thing,
Yeah.
because it's like if you have a child who's, you know,
Misbehaving.
I don't know, or acting out, or like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on in their brain where they're doing this thing that, you know, because you can't just like hit your kid.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to a dog, it's like, well, you can't hit your dog either, but
No.
like, you know, you yell and then the dog is sort of like,
And then they get
sad,
upset.
and then
I know.
it
Yeah.
is,
It's hard to discipline animals.
it's a lot, man. And
totally.
you know, I sort of yearn for the days where I just had 2 cats who
I-
were like,
I
we're
mean-
just the most beautiful things ever. And I'm like, yeah, you are.
You did this to yourself.
It's true. I did. It's true.
You dug your own grave.
I did. Heather, what about you? How's your week been?
Well, it's been topsy turvy at best, but you know, there's always good moments. I had a wonderful weekend, actually, surprisingly. Not that I don't have good weekends, but it was an exceptionally good weekend when I
expect
wasn't
nothing
expecting
less.
it. Yeah, and I mean, I think because some plans came together at the last minute. My wonderful friends, Jillian and Alvaro. Jillian is a $10 patron.
Hi, Jill.
They made me a wonderful dinner at their house. We had such a great time. We stayed up really late, drank a bunch of wine, hung out on their patio.
Super fun.
Alvaro,
What kind of dinner are we talking?
well, it's actually kind of interesting because I am talking about what I ate for dinner in one of my stories in the show. Just
okay.
totally coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
It was squid ink pasta, and it was
Ooh.
so good. Alvaro is a great cook, actually. He's a really good cook. It was phenomenal. I did feel some gluten allergy the next day, and I don't get stomach stuff. I just get like sniffly. I get sneezy and sniffly and itchy. Felt it, but you know what? It was worth it.
So here's my question for you, because I find there are certain things Even in our show last week, I sort of half joked about being allergic to wine, but like, I think I am allergic to, there are certain kind of tannins that are like not really agreeing with me these days, and makes it hard for me to sleep. But like, what do you think actually is not agreeing with you? Is it gluten?
I have heard stories that people, like, because most people's common gluten allergy is stomach related. I don't have that.
Yeah.
But I have read a lot of stories about people, they don't talk about it as much because it's not like the celiac disease.
Right.
But it's an actual allergy. So I get stuffed up, you know.
Sure.
I get sneezy and kind of itchy, and like my nose is just running. I always know, because if I eat pizza like on Saturday night, like Sunday morning, I'm like, I sneeze a lot.
And it's the wheat.
Oh, totally.
It has to be.
It's the wheat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you Google it, you will find a lot of people do talk about it. It's just not as common as like the stomach, you know,
of course,
allergy. But
well, and I think celiac is, people get dismissed from celiac because it's like, that is a specific thing that you will get diagnosed with.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you don't have an allergy or some sort of a, hindrance.
Sensitivity.
Exactly, sensitivity to a lot of these ingredients. Like, sure, it won't kill you, but it doesn't mean it's not hurting you.
Yeah, totally. And I just really quick, I wanted to mention, I'm looking for a new apartment, and I found my dream place today.
Oh.
Like, totally clicked with the person. Everything was perfect about it. It was so cute. You would have loved it. It had the greatest light fixtures. It was kind of girly, like in a great way. It had bamboo floors. It was weirdly perfect. It was in like a little enclave of West Hollywood. It was like really like quiet, you know, and like they don't even build. Oh, and you won't believe it. And so they don't even, they have really strict laws in that part of West Hollywood. I didn't know about this. They don't allow any construction that's beyond like 1 or 2 stories. Like, and so there's hardly
because your
any
neighbors are rich enough so that they're like,
And so here's the sad and depressing thing. Hence the 1,000 tears. The girl loved me. She's like, you're the first person. So if you, and it was available now, so it was empty. But I was like, well, I can't really move in until the end of the month. And she was like, that's fine. Super cool. Everything just like slid into place. I was going to fill out the application. She calls me 5 minutes later and says, what did you look like? What service did you find this listing on? Because there was a mismarked price. Oh. So it was $1,000 more than what I thought. No. Can you believe that? I think I had the same reaction. I think I gasped just like you did, and then like put my head down and cried 1,000 tears because it was perfect. It was in the bag. I'm not even kidding you. It was in the bag. She gave it to me.
Do you think that it was really a mistake? Or was it
think it
some
was
sort
because
of
I
like
remember
like bait and switch weird thing? No.
I actually remember they seemed like really nice people. Yeah. And I do recall that the website I saw it on was the lower number, and it was on, the other one that you use, like apartments.com or something. It was the real number. I was just like, you know what? Actually, that makes sense. No,
the life of a renter is 1,000 tears.
Oh yeah, I was literally like, you know what?
Over.
That makes sense. That's something that would happen right now. I don't know. It's all good. It's all good. Like I'm moving on. I've already moved on.
Okay, so but and not to get too into this, but you are obviously sniffing around for new apartments. As am I. Yeah. I love my place in Venice. We're at Heather's apartment right now in Hollywood. And I love my place. I never want to leave. But it's large and it's expensive. Yep. And I would love to.
When we used to be ballers, it was like fine. But
even if I was like, there are just so many things where I'm like, this huge plant, I could get rid of it, and then I wouldn't need so much room
to water it
in my. I wouldn't need to water it.
You wouldn't need to kill it.
I wouldn't need so much room in my living room. But like, yeah, the whole idea of downsizing,
it kind of feels good.
It
like
does.
I'm kind of excited about it.
Once you get into it, you're like,
it's almost obsessive.
Get rid of all of the stuff that actually I don't.
That
like
doesn't
that
make
much.
you happy. Do you know what the rules are? There's some cool book. I can't remember the name, but my neighbor's like going nuts with this book because it helps you kind of pare down stuff that you don't need. One, especially with like clothes, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it.
Yeah.
There's no reason to keep it. And if you haven't worn it or used it for a year, just get rid of it. You won't miss it. I think that's the general rule. And I love the joy one though, because you can even do that with things, you know, you're like, I don't know, just sort of like, you know, maybe that picture on the wall right there. Like my mom gave that to me. I think she got it at a thrift store.
I have the same one.
I know, but see, I think this one is a knockoff. It's a faux.
Oh, I'm sure mine is as well.
Well, yeah, it's not like a.
Neither of us have an original Chat Noir.
Yeah. Wait, what's the name of the artist? Oh man, French artist, blanking. We'll get back to that.
Anyway,
so you got the new phone, huh?
I did.
I'm actually kind of jealous. That thing is heavy AF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to know why it's so heavy. It's so interesting to me.
So anybody who's watching the video version of this, we have an audio and video version, of course. I find the gold a little bit less yellow gold than I would like, because I'm a yellow gold kind of person. Like,
oh yeah,
I want it to be 70s fucking gold.
You're a pimp, man.
Yeah, thank you. I am. In theory.
She is.
In theory.
Yeah.
It's rosier gold than I thought it would be, but I think it's really beautiful.
It's really beautiful.
And it is heavy.
It's very heavy. I'm concerned you're going to drop it. You're notorious for dropping it, but then holding on to it for like a million years when it has a million cracks.
So
it's just inevitable, Sarah.
Does
it have a case on it?
No. I'm going to put a case on my phone. I'm going to drop it and it's going to shatter, and then I'm going to use it for the next 3 years.
I know your MO, man.
I just,
you've done it like 3 times in a row. So
anyway,
that's exciting though.
No, I love it. It's
I'm kind of jealous actually. It's like, why are they they're getting so crazy expensive? It's ridiculous.
Well, dude, the only reason that I even sprung for this is because, as you mentioned, my 7 Plus, because I skipped the last cycle, so I've been rocking this like very, very
it's precarious.
But
like you probably have cut yourself on it.
No, I had literally
I know
pieces of glass from the phone have fallen onto my person, where I'm like
in your shirt.
Yeah, like where I'm like, it might be like toxic.
Ow.
Yeah,
like a boob cut.
Like it might like hurt my cat.
My boob. Or something like that.
My boob may or may not be bleeding. Have been bleeding as a result of my 7 Plus, but no, I was excited to get this new one, and I kind of made it like, well, it's like an early birthday present to myself.
I think that's good.
And I didn't do it last year, so it felt like, yes, it was $1,300. I
think that's a good birthday
crazy
gift.
Insane.
You could go to Paris, like I might do for my birthday. But I'm like, Paris or a new iPhone? I don't know. Like,
well, the answer is both.
Yeah.
How do you get the new iPhone and then go to Paris?
Oh, that would be, and use the amazing new camera that I'm so jealous of. Damn it! But let me ask you this really quick.
All right.
So if you didn't buy it outright, how, like, there's always discounts when your
I bought
contract.
It outright.
I know, but like when your contract, you can change your contract. You usually get a discount. I wonder what the discounted rate is, because usually it's like
there really isn't one.
It's still really expensive.
The only thing it is like it's sort of rent out, right?
Yeah.
Like
you can do a payment plan.
You go to a furniture store and like that couch is like
payment plan.
I'll just pay for it for like the next 24 months.
Hey man, if it's free,
the same thing.
If it's like 0 APR, like why not?
Well, and it is.
Yeah.
It's not like leasing a car.
No.
Where you actually like pay out of pocket,
and die.
It's and then you die
from all the expenses
in your car in the garage.
Yeah.
I'll roll down the windows next time.
So Sarah, I
as you can see, it's been a great week for us.
And we haven't even told you about the little thing we had to do tonight with her dog. We're gonna save it. Maybe we'll mention it in the newsletter this week or something. I don't know. I think it's a little.
I did mention that he chewed through his own leash.
That's true, but we had to come up with an alternative leash. That's essential. So you can use your imagination. It involved a bike lock and 2 padlocks and a wrought iron gate. So you can use your imagination and figure that out. Moving
I
on.
mean, thank God for Heather. Yes, Heather, just save me from myself.
Yes.
Please.
I thought we would do a new segment called the Drug News Roundup.
Oh, cool.
I thought you would be into that.
Like psychotropic,
all
or
kinds of stuff,
just
everything,
all drugs.
encompassing.
Okay.
It's sort of so like if we want to do this in the future, anything drug related can fall under this category. So
Hit me.
I think you're going to like these. So there's a Toronto company that's hiring people to smoke pot for $50 an hour. This is $38 US an hour. Plus expenses are covered. Who wants to move to Canada?
That would be me.
I think we're moving the show to Canada. But here's the rub. So I don't know if you and I could do it because the qualifications are you need to be able to distinguish beyond like indica and sativa. Okay. You need to know.
I can't.
Well, no, it's beyond. Yeah, it's beyond that. I can do that, but it's beyond that. You have to.
I'd like to say that I can, but like, can I really? I don't know.
I think I probably can.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
what else?
I mean, I
What
think
else?
it's harder than you think. There's really more layered characteristics with marijuana plants. There's the visual, factory, smell, and tactile. Different weed strains. Apparently, there's some social media responsibilities for, doing this job and some live events. I don't know. It was unclear. But tell me where to sign up. I'll do it.
But wait. Hold on. Hold the phone. Somebody in Canada is going to pay me to smoke weed?
That's what I'm saying.
Because, I mean, I'm not world's biggest weed smoker, but
can you distinguish these
But I'm paying
characteristics?
for it when I want to.
I know.
In some way.
Hey, man,
right?
I want to move to Canada anyway, so I want to move to Toronto.
All right.
Let's just do it.
Let's hold on a
pack our
second,
bags.
Heather. Like, hold on. We never really talked about this. Like, would you honestly move to Toronto? Like,
Might.
that's what you
Maybe.
you want to?
I have this like crazy fantasy of like some cool city like finds me, like a recruiter or something and has this incredible job, executive position, and just like woos me over to some new and exciting city.
But that's a fantasy about a job. Like,
Well, sure.
Do you have a fantasy about moving to Canada?
Kind of, because I mean the US is, come on. Like there's a lot of strife in this country right now. And I mean, there is everywhere, honestly. And it's funny. One of the things I was thinking about talking about on the show today that maybe we can do at some point was like, where is the best place to live right now? US, Europe, but let's table that because I have a few more drug pieces of news that I want to get through.
And I mean, who doesn't want to
So-
also get through them? I certainly do. Bated breath, go.
Okay, so I did mention that I had the squid ink pasta, so I feel a little guilty because
you did, and you
I'm
kind of
telling
looked
you.
at me funny when you said it.
Well, you know why?
Why?
Because I love octopuses. That's
Octopi?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, well, they're both okay,
that's a
but
wives' tale?
octopuses is more right.
Oh.
Yes.
More right.
No, it is. So you can. So basically,
Writer.
It's much more. Yes. Do you know that the standard English plural of octopus is octopuses? Like I said. However, the word octopus comes from Greek, and the Greek plural form is actually octopodes, but it's kind of infrequent. People don't say that. So people mistakenly create these, different plurals like octopi. A lot of people say octopi. And it's actually not incorrect, but the real plural is octopuses.
Octopuses.
I know. But that's not really the story I'm trying to tell you here.
Kind of like a good neck tat.
It is.
You know?
Actually, I always thought like...
And then when people are like, what's that mean? Be like,
octopuses.
ever heard of...
But the thing is, so we know, I have a hard time eating octopus because, I mean, I think it's really
They're
good,
supposed to
but
be very smart.
very smart. Do you know that they can open jars?
No.
And do you know that they can high five each other? There's a video online. Just Google it. It's a high-fiving octopus.
I can't.
It is. The sad thing is there was an ad before the video pre-roll that was like some Brazilian steakhouse that I believe there was some like grilled octopus like in the commercial right before this high-fiving octopus video. Anyway, adorable. Do you know that octopus are very asocial and kind of moody, like kind of temperamental? like us,
I
like
mean,
humans. Well, so you're not going to believe this.
After my own heart.
You're not going to believe this. Do you know that scientists are dosing octopuses with MDMA? Molly, that is.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Ecstasy. So apparently they're complicated in ways that humans are. They have, do you know they have hundreds of millions of neurons in each arm? They're fascinating creatures. Anyway, so studying them might help us. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing. No, they're really special. And so these scientists are, they try to find any animal that will be close enough to the human, experience. And so they think that apparently their social behaviors are similar.
Yeah.
And so they think it'll help them understand the human brain a little bit more. But I'm really upset about this. I mean, I feel like, why don't you just test human issues on other humans? I'm sorry, I don't know, this is very controversial, but like, you don't get the permission from the animals, like, why is it fair to test on something like an octopus when we're not looking out for them? I was thinking though, maybe, I know this is a tough subject, but I was thinking maybe we should put a low dose. So they put the dose in the water, in the tank, and so it's like a low dose of serotonin, MDMA.
They're microdosing.
And
they're microdosing an octopus.
Yeah, this is happening.
But
I think what would be really wonderful and make us all have such a great day is, why don't we put some low doses of MDMA in the entire world's drinking water system?
It's certainly mine. I'm ready.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I am ready. But this is sort of a funny thing, because a few years ago, I remember, being at like a nice restaurant where there were a bunch of, it was sort of like, we're gonna have a bunch of different courses, and one of them was octopus, and a friend of mine was like, yeah, I don't do that, and I was like, why? It's calamari, and she was like, well, they're very smart, and it just like doesn't sit well with me, and I was like,
I respect that.
It was the first time that I had ever heard that. But then at the same time, and it always stuck with me and has to this day. But I was always like, well, okay. So like, is it cool to just eat animals that are stupider? Like that, it sort of opens up an interesting conversation about like, what is it? Is it more okay to eat an animal that you feel like you have less in common with, even if they are very valuable to the overall ecosystem of life?
Maybe it's more of it's like a separation thing. I mean, because like pigs are very smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
And
in fact, I mean, unfortunately, they're used in a lot of testing because they're actually very similar to humans in a lot of ways, where, rats and pigs.
There were Howard Stern was just talking to someone the other day who
Heather
owns,
is so into Howard Stern.
Howard is great. I think he's really I think he's misunderstood. But and I'm talking about not like the whack pack stuff. I'm talking about like his interviews and some of his more real stuff.
What's the whack pack?
Oh, you know what the whack pack is? Oh. It's a lot of like crazy wacky people like Tan Mom and
like the zoo crew. It's
exactly.
It's like a crazy morning show fun.
And they're kind of wacky. They've got some like weird ticks and stuff like that. And
that's okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny. I think it can get a little he takes things a little bit far. But anyway, so he's saying that this guy, he has a pig as a pet, but he also eats ham. Not his pet. He won't ever eat his pet. But like he was talking about, well, how do you feel about that? You have a pig as a pet that you love so much, but you still eat quite a bit of bacon. And so it's kind of there, there's all kinds of people in this world, and everybody has their different morals and values. And I just, I don't know, I might stop eating. I don't even eat it very often. Like occasionally I'll get like a grilled octopus when I'm with people at a restaurant because they order it, and I'll have some, but I don't feel great about it. So I'm thinking maybe I need to.
I mean, it's delicious.
It is. It really is.
It is delicious. I mean, octopus is like one of my favorite things to eat.
Yeah.
However, I would, if somebody said like, here's this Tabby Cat. It's
Or
the most
Otis the
delicious
dog.
thing, or Otis the dog, most delicious thing you could ever eat. It's like, well, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, we all have our limits.
Yeah.
And once I know that an octopus is maybe a little bit more on my side mentally than,
He's
the
like your
average
buddy,
animal.
and he's going to
just-
high five you, and his stickers
I
are
don't
going
want
to
it
stick
that
on your
bad.
hand.
I just don't
I
want it
hear
that
you.
bad.
Okay, this is one last bit of animal/drug news. There is a Maine restaurant that is giving
restaurant
in Maine,
the
in the state of Maine, that is giving marijuana to their lobsters so that their deaths when they get thrown in the hot water are less stressful and painless.
Devin Biondi, weigh in, please. She's from
Is she
Maine.
listening?
She grew up in Maine and knows a lot about lobsters. I don't know.
Yeah. So do they feel pain though? That's the big question. And do they even get high? I mean, really, I don't think they even know.
I have to say,
anyway.
back in the day. Okay, so I grew up in a small town, right? So there were two grocery stores. You got Safeway, and then you got the local one. And I remember in the Safeway there was a big tank where the lobsters were, and it was
That always made me
the idea
sad
was
too.
you buy them because they're alive,
Yeah.
and so when you kill them and eat them, they're fresh
And they taste good.
But it was very upsetting to me.
Oh, totally.
As a little kid, it was
They're all cramped in there, and they're crawling all over each other.
Sad and just whatever. There were humans in a
Yeah.
tent. I can't even deal. So
Yeah, and I think the big question that came out from this whole thing was, well, so if you eat the lobster that has been exposed to the marijuana, does that mean you get marijuana in yourself? But they did a bunch of. Wouldn't that be crazy? You eat a lobster and then you get really high.
It's perfect.
I know, it's amazing. So I guess there was no real marijuana detected in the urine, but there's so many. It's funny. I was Googling marijuana news, and it's just page after page after page of just the last 24 hours, because there's so much going on with marijuana right now that there was some deli that was selling THC turkey. You literally can get a sandwich with turkey that is infused with THC, and of course they got shut down. But I mean, it's so funny. Do it sometime. There's a lot going on.
I guess, my initial reaction is that's so dumb. Who wants a turkey sandwich? But maybe for people who are weed is scary, or I don't know what's going on.
I'll eat it.
Yeah. But maybe it's in my turkey sandwich I'm having for lunch, and I feel better afterward.
Hey man,
okay,
whatever works.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, we already talked a little bit about our wonderful patrons, and
we sure did.
We do want to remind you that every new episode goes up weekly. Depending on the week, it will go up either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, just depending on what's going on.
Hey man,
gotta remind you,
give us a goddamn break.
Who's doing the show? Just her and me. It's a
Who's doing the show?
headed monster that puts together the show. Every week we do everything. In fact, if you have any marketing ideas, please hit us up at hi@havesuchagoodday.com. We feel like we could blast this out to the world and we would get a lot more listeners. But we're just two fake blondes that could, and we're trying,
Heather.
we're trying real hard. That's Charlie, the Norwegian forest cat.
He loves me so much.
He does. He really does. So I have a game for you, Sarah. Okay, so I was actually on one of your favorite sites today, looking for some, what's going on in the music world.
What is one
Fader?
of my favorite sites? Oh, the Fader.
Fader?
Yeah, of course.
Fader. And on the side panel, there was a list of rappers, and it just looked so ridiculous. It was it was just rapper name after rapper name. There was 6 or 7 of them, and I just looked at it and I'm like, what world do we live in? It was Lil Pump, Earl Sweatshirt, Swizz Beats, and it was just what the hell? What has happened to musician names? And so I started to.
Lil Pump.
Yeah, I mean, I know
okay.
you're going to have an opinion. So I thought this would be kind of a fun thing. Like, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with generations, but like you kind of think back, you know, like the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and some of these like classic rock band names. And like maybe back then some of them sounded weird. Like maybe Rolling Stones was like, the Rolling Stones? Like, what does that mean? But like, I think in terms of cool rapper names, there's classics. I mean, Tupac. I mean, people's names are always fine. Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G. That's all fine and cool, fine and dandy.
You're fine with all these names.
I am.
Got it.
I'm
Okay.
good. Jay-Z, you know, those are all like, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to them. G-Eazy, you know, I actually think that's a little cheesy, but I like him a lot. But like, here are three of the most, I think, ridiculous. Get ready to laugh.
Okay.
I don't even know if you've heard of all these. I know you're a big rap aficionado, but I don't think you've heard of any of these. Maybe
right.
one of them. 1 out of 3, I'm going to guess.
I'm ready.
All right. These are what I think are the most completely ridiculous, absurd rap names in the world. Lil Waterbed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
love him already. Where's he from?
Let's be honest.
Tell me everything about him.
Rapper names have ventured into an extremely absurd territory. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Lil Toenail.
Oh,
I know.
That one I don't like. Little toenail, like yuck.
I mean, I don't like
I
it.
have little toenails, as do we all.
I just, you know,
but
sometimes I feel like maybe it's like they're looking for a web page and they can't find anything that's available. So they're like,
right.
I don't know, toenail. You know? Okay, the last one.
Okay.
Lil Poopy.
Oh, little poopy.
You like that, but he's a kid. So, I mean, we'll let that pass.
What do you mean he's a kid?
I think he's a kid rapper.
Is he 17 or is he 7?
I think he's younger than that. I don't know how old he is, but
Okay.
actually I could
Lil
look really quick.
Poopy?
Lil Poopy. Okay. I mean, you know, that. So, but it made me think.
Little waterbed I am 100% into.
You're on board with that?
Well, yeah. I wish it was mine.
I wonder if Lil Waterbed has a waterbed. In fact, I wonder if anybody has a waterbed anymore. If you do, can you please write me? I want to know anyone out there who still owns a waterbed, because that is so 80s, isn't it? Isn't that 80s?
I will not.
They're kind of fun for a while.
Pardon me. I will not out anyone that I grew up with. But, you know, I grew up in the country. Country people. We do country things. And it wasn't me, but somebody that I know had sex for the first time on their parents' waterbed. Whoa. And it wasn't their parents. It was like the waterbed of the parents that were out of town in Hawaii for the weekend.
Awesome.
And we were all there. And like everyone was like, oh my God, look at the waterbed. You know,
I
it's like,
remember that.
Yeah, like an adult
It was so
thing.
fun. Totally.
And I remember like someone coming out afterwards and being like, we did it.
Oh yeah, that's
you know, and the rest of us being like, oh my gosh, but how was the water?
that's like a life goal. I mean,
Like,
seriously.
did you like puncture the waterbed? Like, you know, everyone's like afraid of waterbeds.
Oh man, that really takes me back. So I actually wanted to recommend a new rapper that I think you would like, Sarah.
Oh my!
Now that we're on the subject, I don't even know if you know about her, because I like her name.
Oh, her!
I like her name.
Love her already.
And
Who dat?
She has a name that I like.
Okay.
Her name is No Name.
Her
and
name
she's
is
from
No-
Chicago.
Oh.
And she's really badass. And she's check her out and let me know what you think.
Okay.
But it made me recall a conversation that I had with a good friend of mine, not to be named. But we often talk about names that we like and that we don't like. So I would like to just name 5 rock band names that I cannot stand, that like make my skin crawl. Ooh. I hate them.
Oh.
I really
These
have
are
a hard time with them.
band names, not
Band
song names.
No, these are band names.
Got it. Okay.
You will know.
All right.
And I'm sorry in advance if any of you like these bands.
Everybody has to, you know, seek their own truth.
Exactly. And I think you're going to agree with me on some of these.
Okay.
In fact, I would like to hear your thoughts. So
Okay.
you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. They're not in any particular order.
Right.
Limp Bizkit.
So I like Limp Bizkit.
You like their music.
Uh-huh.
Do you like the name? Because,
No.
okay.
Especially with the Z. Like, no, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's bad.
Anyone
but
using the
it
word limp.
It doesn't...
I mean, limp, like How is that a positive?
That is actually, I mean, you know, because you're
Limp.
like, does this make your skin crawl? I'm like, no, I love Limp Bizkit, you know, back in 1999. But you're right. It's a terrible name for a band.
It's the same. It's sort of the same thing for me, like Archers of Loaf. Like, why use loaf? Like loaf? You're going to use that word? Okay.
Loaf sounds like a turd.
It does. So does limp.
Yeah. Well, no, limp sounds like a limp. You know what?
I know. Well,
And
that's what I think
and
they're
I
going
don't want to
for.
call it a biscuit.
Well, that actually leads me to the next one.
all right.
Throbbing Gristle. It is a band.
No,
I can't even.
know,
I can't even
I know.
like their music because I hate their name so much. Like it affects me. I will never. Can't do it.
It is a non-starter.
It's a non-starter.
Throbbing Gristle. Best of luck, but I will not be listening.
Okay. All right. How about?
Do it.
I feel you, girl. How about Hoobastank? Terrible.
Ooh, Hoobastank is pretty bad.
This is so like, but I just want to be in like the brainstorming room when they were coming up with names. It's like, how the hell did that?
Yeah, like
you know, I think it was like an inside joke or something.
Are we like funny? Like stink?
Do we
like,
stink?
But like, what's who?
Are we like
stink?
are we Hoobers?
I have no
Like,
idea.
yeah, what? Like, none of it makes sense. Okay, and one more, and then we'll move on. Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh, see, no, I like Toad the Wet
Oh,
I'm telling you, I know it's so white girl.
it
of
really
me,
is actually.
But like, walk on the water. Like, I love that song. I loved it.
I don't even know if I know
You
any of their
do.
music. I probably
You
do.
do.
I just like I'm so turned off by the name. It's just so random.
It's like, oh, they have another song like, all I want is to feel this way. Anyway,
It was a high school thing, right?
It was, yeah, high school. The tail end of high school, definitely.
Yeah.
I like Toad the Wet Sprocket. Terrible name.
Yeah.
You are right on
Terrible.
that.
Terrible.
But really good
I mean,
music.
these decisions that these creative people make.
I'll just say for the record, because we're talking about sort of like maybe like lame, you know, band names, but like kind of cool songs. I love Collective Soul. Remember
like
Collective
oh
Soul?
yeah, totally.
And like that's like Collective Soul now becomes like part of like a ha like you know, like wasn't it funny when we liked the stuff, you know, back in the day? Collective Soul was like really good.
Yeah, totally. Hey,
By the way, Heather's cat and my dog are
like
maybe
making out right now.
you know, hoping to be in love. So it's a little bit. It's a little bit.
It's just you
silly
guys
and weird.
must be like, man, the animals in those girls' houses is just like it's a whole situation. We're really just trying to save
If I
them.
can impart any piece of advice to you, don't adopt.
No, she doesn't mean that. She doesn't mean
Don't
that.
adopt.
Because Sarah is a very big animal lover. I just think that you had a bad day with Odie. So it's going to be okay. But I have to ask you this really quick before we move on.
Okay, fine.
If you were to have if you were to aspire for a rapper alter ego name, what would that be?
I think it would probably be so my iPhone has a rapper name because that's the kind of person I am, and I also like it when it shows up in my car. But and that rapper name is Westbred Tink. And there's a whole story behind that. We don't need to get into it here. But I think if I were to come out with an album and I was like really good, which I'm not, but like let's say I was, I'd be Lil Westbred Tink.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty good. I like the Lil too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably be a Lil too. My friend, this was sort of circulating today. A friend of mine, Avril, she said her name would be Busta Nipple. Which I thought was really funny. Busta Nipple.
I mean, does she have like great boobs or like
Maybe she had kids. I don't know. I mean, I would say for me, I don't know.
Busta Nipple? I mean, April, well played, but it's
funny stuff.
you really think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. It's very visual. So I would say for me, I don't know, off the top of my head, like Frankie Biscuits. But
Ooh,
actually,
that's a good one.
someone has called me that in the past, so I'm totally stealing that name. Also Hedaville for real, which
Ooh,
also I'm
that's a good one.
stealing. So I'm not making up either of these. But yeah, that's that. So didn't we, you and I were discussing before the show about, I know you like your Alexa, right?
I do.
Like you use it all for everything. Do you feel like there's things that you would like to use it for that you don't?
Yeah. So, and if you hear like something that sounds like
Rattling a cage?
maybe there's
Wild animal.
an earthquake. It's my dog, just off camera, hanging out with Heather's cat. But yeah, so the whole idea of hotels that have AI, right? Like, yes, Amazon's assistant, or it could be Google's assistant, or Apple's, or lots of options. I love the idea of being in a hotel room, and instead of getting on the phone, like, when's the last time like you picked up a phone?
Do you know what I do with
it? Was like not a rotary phone, but you know what I mean, like old school phone, and been like, hello? Oh, can I please order a pizza to the room?
No,
like,
honestly, do you know what I
wouldn't
do?
it be nice to be like naked in the bed and just talk to the air?
Oh yeah, and the thing is I put everything on the table, like especially the phone, because I don't want to get some random call in the middle of the night, which happens at hotels. So I unplug it and put it in the drawer or in the like cabinet, because I don't ever use it. I don't need it. I need that real estate on that nightstand.
Of course.
So I'm like, just get everything off. There's
and just
too much stuff.
it's like a weird phone. Like,
It's
like
so weird.
I'm calling like a local establishment. Like, no one knows anything about numbers anymore. Like, get away.
And then you're on hold and they're all disgruntled. They're like, what do you want? And you're like, where's the gym? What floor? And they're like, I don't know, hold on. And then you're on the phone.
They're like, oh, you called the concierge. Let me
transfer you.
Let me transfer you to the spa.
We're experiencing
like,
high call volumes. So your wait time is 15 minutes.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, things are going to be changing very rapidly here. I think that there's a lot of stories now about using Alexa in ways that is kind of stuff, ways that you wouldn't even expect. So imagine walking into a hotel and you're going to the front desk and there isn't even a person there. All you need to do is check in with Alexa and be like,
That's
Alexa.
all I want.
Well,
I don't want a person.
Think about the people who are potentially going to lose their jobs at some point. They're up in arms and, but anyway.
Well, so, okay, so that's funny. So recently I had to go to Chicago for work, and it was a real quick trip. Like,
it was like a day.
Came in on a Tuesday, left on a Wednesday, whatever. Like, and that Tuesday, like, by the time I got in from O'Hare, it was late.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because, like, it was, it was a nice hotel, and
wasn't that nice?
well, yes, it was, but it was very nice. But like, I walk up, but it was probably midnight.
Yeah.
Like, no one's there.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody like at the bar, and and the guy behind the counter was like, oh, real nice, but he had a dog with him, and I was like, is this like the hotel dog? Oh, this is so fun. And he was like, no, like, if it's okay with you, like, I'd like to keep it under wraps. Like, I bring my dog here like late night because, like, I have a dog and whatever. And I was like, oh my God, of course, no problem. But it was sort of a funny thing. Like, he and I kind of like winked at each other. Like, when I saw him the next morning, like, yeah, I got you. Like, no problem. Like, I'm not going to tell on you. But at the same time, I was like, this job, his days are numbered.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because all he was doing was standing there.
That's the thing.
And he had to bring his dog
Yep.
to the hotel because, like, that's his job.
I know.
And like, he's actually better served doing something else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's complicated.
I bet there's
right?
a lot of people that are freaking out right now
Yeah,
about
because it's like,
that.
well, what else are you going to do
Yeah.
with that time where you were getting that money?
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's going to be we'll be tracking this. We'll be talking about this as it evolves. So just, keep following us, you guys, and hi@havesuchagoodday.com. Please email us. We are on iTunes, right, Sarah? We're on
Correct.
Stitcher.
Correct.
Where else are we? Pocket Casts.
So
What do you listen to? You listen to podcasts on some weird thing that I've never heard of, I think.
Called Apple Podcasts, Heather.
Oh,
yeah.
never heard of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I try all of them. But no, I actually use Apple Podcasts
and
regularly.
HaveSuchAGoodDay.com is our website. And I updated our patrons today. The what do you call it? Our
Coast Guard?
Yes, our Coast Guard. I formatted it a little differently because
you see how dedicated she is.
Well, you know,
No,
I
it's
see.
okay. It's been a long day for everybody.
We have so many more patrons now that I had to go check it out, Sarah. I don't think you've seen it, but instead of a list, it's sort of like listed out like that in a big block. It looks kind of cool. Let me know what you think. But find your name on that. That's on our website at HaveSuchAGoodDay.
Find your name, take a photo. If you send us the photo, we'll put it at the end of the show.
We will.
But I mean, but in all honesty, hi at Have Such a Good Day is the email address to let us know. Did we hit a nerve?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Did you not?
Do we talk too much about dogs and cats?
Right. Like, I mean, if so,
Probably.
I mean, tell us, but like, we're not going to stop, but like, still tell us because, you know, you're part of the community. But like, but the idea of this is to make this a community effort.
Yes.
Heather and I, we love to talk.
We do. We like to hear from you. We have a great little Discord community.
We really
We
do.
can't always be in there every second, but when we do, we really try to see how everyone's doing,
We love
what's
'em.
going on
We
the
love 'em.
weekend. So join us.
Yeah.
If you pay $10 a month, which is a couple cappuccinos, you can join us in the Discord and you can just, I don't know, it's more casual conversation. We're not trying to hide anything. It's more like I told everyone about the smoothie I made this morning. I mean, it's very personal and we're not like, you know, trying to I mean, I don't know. Maybe my day was kind of boring.
This is very
and I'm like,
personal. For example, I told
What
you
I had for
about
breakfast.
my smoothie today. Okay.
Okay, I think we've gotten more personal
holds
about that.
barred. No, but seriously, we want as many folks as possible
Yeah.
to be part of this effort.
We
because
really do. We want like
really
a
enjoy
million
it.
people. That's our goal for this year. A
This is
million
literally
listeners.
like, you know what? I was thinking about this,
Yeah.
Heather. I didn't even tell you about this beforehand, but I'm like, how do we describe this? It's like weekly therapy.
It is. Oh, I swear to God. In fact, I'm even thinking about doing, I don't know how you guys feel about this, like a 1 minute quick bit of like, here's some quick little like, you know, life advice.
Sure.
Because honestly, I
would be the person who's like, I'm in
I give it to
therapy.
you.
I'm not the therapist.
No, but I am.
I don't know.
But I
Fuck
mean,
shit
I'll
about
tell you some
anything.
things or give you some anecdotes, and I do it all the time with people. But I don't really take it very well for myself.
But I also
that's the
think that
problem.
like what we get out of you and me, we get
Totally.
out of this is it's like not trained professionals, but it is therapeutic.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that everyone who's been super supportive of the show, and thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of says the same thing.
Oh, completely.
And the more we can do that, the better.
Yeah.
I think we're all
I agree. And we'll do more than one show a week. We'll do 1 million shows a week for $1 million.
Well, we won't do 1 million.
No, but we do have some goals that are kind of hidden on the page. I don't know if you guys have seen it on patreon.com/HaveSuchAGoodDay, but the goals, we would like to get an engineer to help us with post-production and make it a little more creative. Not that you're not doing a good job, Sarah, but anyway.
No,
so,
but truly, it's we would love to make this a tighter ship.
Yes.
If possible. We're doing our best.
We are.
As it stands now.
But
and
we could do 2
hopefully-
shows a week. That's one
Yeah.
of our goals, and
I think that's,
that's doable.
that would be like the ultimate goal. If you like the show, we will do 2 shows a week.
Yeah.
Whereas now we do 1.
But
And if
two's
you're
better
like,
than one.
and if you're like,
Double
no,
the trouble.
no, 1's fine, then okay.
okay, so
Well, we know you want out.
We're probably, I think we're this cup has runneth over.
Yeah.
We are going to wrap the show. However, $5 ballas, stick around. We're going to talk about our bonus topic, and wherever you are and whenever you are, we hope you have such a good day. I'm Heather.
Have such a good day. I'm Sarah.
Bye.